It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. We're back again. Now we're going to be cooking some more dishes for outside. We had so much fun doing the barbecue, and with the summer coming up, we're going to be making a lot more dishes, and I ran out of time for everything I wanted to squeeze in a half-hour show. So today we're going to be making some more dishes to go with your 4th of July and summer picnic parties. Today, right now, we're going to be making a shrimp salad. And so I just cooked off my pasta, which I got the little teeny tiny rings. You can use these or the small shells, or even the little tiny elbow macaroni. What you want is just a small pasta, because what we're going to do is make this into a shrimp salad, not a salad like a leaf lettuce salad, but a salad like a tuna salad or a ham salad, so that you can put this as a spread on your bread and make sandwiches, or you can use it as a salad. So what we're going to do is, I cooked off my pasta first. Now remember, when you put your pasta in boiling water, you want to take and stir it like 3 or 4 times that very first minute. That's going to keep it from sticking. You don't need to pour it in oil, you don't need to put in the salt. That's all fine and dandy if you want to. It's not necessary. As long as you stir your pasta the first minute a couple of times, it's not going to stick. And this tiny pasta only takes about 5 minutes to cook. Your smaller ones do. Your regular pasta takes anywhere from 8 to 10. But for this, it only took like 5 minutes because it's small. It cooks up really fast. You just want to watch it. You want to cook it until it's tender to the bite, which is al dente. Now I'm just letting this drain off completely, because the excess water that absorbs into your pasta, that's what makes your salads, your macaroni salads, runny when you have too much water in your pasta. So you want to make sure this is drained completely. And this has been draining for quite a few minutes now. I just finished cooking it. I ran the cold water on it to chill it out. And we just keep shaking it every so often, just so more water gets drained out. Meanwhile, I've got the cooked shrimp. Now, if you want to get the raw, that's fine. You can cook them off yourself. But you got to be careful. When you take and cook off your shrimp, you don't want to take and overcook them, because then they turn into rubber, and then they're hard to eat. So sometimes what I like to do is, if these were on sale, that's why I bought the cooked ones. Normally I buy the raw. But I'm taking off the tails, and I'm putting my shrimp on paper towel, because I want this to take and absorb all the water that I possibly can. Now I just thaw these out in cold water rather than hot, because I don't need to cook them any longer. I just need to thaw them out. They're already cooked. And with your raw shrimp, get your water boiling first, add your shrimp, and then you want to time it for about 3 minutes until they're pink, because you don't want to overcook those either. As soon as they turn color from the grayish, when they're raw, to a pink, take them out. Only takes about 3 minutes. 3 to 5 if you got bigger ones, but the small ones cook up quicker. So anyway, I'm just going to take off my tails and off these shrimp. Let the pasta drain off until it's dry, or most of that water is, and then we'll be right back to put in our other ingredients. Okay, now I got that pasta done and the shrimp. I took the shrimp and wrung them out squeezed them dry in paper towels. You get a paper towel, a couple of them, put your shrimp in there, and then just squeeze it dry, because that shrimp holds and retains a lot of water. And so when you make your salad, it's going to make your dressing that you make for it, your mayonnaise, is going to become really runny. And that's the same way with potato salad. You don't want all that runniness. And speaking of which, that's what we're doing now, is making potato salad. I just took and peeled my potatoes, my Idahos, and you can use any potato that you want to. They each cook differently because of the different colors. They have different cooking times. So if whatever you're used to working with, you got to check them. You just want to cook them, boil them until they're fork tender to the bite like. You don't want them, don't get them mushy, because if you overcook them, that's how you get when you make potato salad, and it looks like, some people make it, it's like whipped, the dressing in there, it makes it almost like sherbet almost, you know what I mean? And some people like it that way, some don't. But that's because your potatoes were overcooked and they got mushy. And so that rubs off. Some of the potatoes will stay whole, but the overcooked part falls off the chunks. And then you get the whipped potatoes, which is all overcooked, mixed in with the mayonnaise, and so you get like a whipped potato salad. So I mean, if that's what you want, go ahead, but not me, I'm from Wisconsin, you know, and we like the traditional potato salad. And I don't put vinegar in mine either. Now you can if you want to, and if you do, that acts as a preservative, so that if you happen to have it sitting in the car, left out on the counter, whatever, you could still eat it if it gets, you know, warmed up, because the vinegar counteracts and acts as a preservative. So you're fine, it doesn't have to be chilled. But if you don't have vinegar in it, which I don't, then you don't want your vinegar to get warm. It has to stay cold at 40 degrees. So you don't want it to get any warmer, because it'll start, you know, deteriorating on you, and then you can get sick from it. So best thing to do for my potato salad is keep it cold, keep it chilled. But it's the best potato salad around. It is so good and so easy. So I just peeled my potatoes, that's it. Cut them up and put them in. Now I just cut them into bite-sized pieces. So you can make them as big or as small as you want. The thing is that when you just keep checking. Like I said, you just don't want to overcook it. And the best way to do it is with a fork. Is just to poke. And they generally take no more than 8 minutes. So it all depends on the size you cook. The smaller the size, the quicker it's going to take to cook. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes because I don't want to go over 8. You always can cook longer, you can't cook under. So once you go past the point, you know, that's it. Same way with all my cooking, like I teach you. Once you go past the point, you can't go back. So you always want to take samples every so often, check for doneness. Now the pasta's done. That only, like I said, only took 5 minutes. And you can tell my shrimp here is all squeezed dry, which is good. That's what I want. Next, now for the shrimp salad, we're gonna put in, let's see, where am I? I want to get out some of my peppers. And this is probably even too much for me to use. I'll probably just do a quarter, because I don't need it much. And in these I want to take and cut into real tiny minced pieces. Because you want tiny for your pasta, for your shrimp salad. If you want big chunks, you can, but remember now this is going to go on a sandwich, so you don't want to, you know, bite into a big chunk of pepper. Small, fine, but not big. So you want to cut these into tiny, thin slices, and then just mince them. And then this goes into our salad. Now, bells and buzzers, where's Callie, ALLIE? I miss her so much. God, I miss her. She was more than just a dog, she was my friend. I can feel just by stirring, they're still firm yet. But I'm going to take the fork and just test it for doneness. And I'm just about done. I'm probably going to go maybe another minute or two at the most. See, that's why I said you got to take and you can always go longer. You can't go shorter. You don't want to go past the cooking point. I'll set that for like about a minute or two. Let that go. I don't want to go any longer because I don't want to overcook. Now back to here. Put in our mayonnaise. So now these are done. And we'll just drain these off. Oh, that's one thing you don't want is all this humidity in the summer. Good Lord, it's hot enough outside. Now we're going to take and run into cold water to stop the cooking process. The spray hose don't work on this one, so I got to look out. I learned the hard way. I should have left that. I should have caught that on tape. That's what I should have done. Would have been funny. Mayonnaise. You put in your mayonnaise. You only want to put in enough to moisten everything. Like I said, a little at a time, because if you do too much, you can't go back once you put in. So if everything is squeezed dry, you're not going to need all that much mayonnaise, you know. if it isn't squeezed dry, you put in this amount, everything's gonna be soupy. So I know everything is dry, so I can put in a lot more, and then you can get more flavor. You're not gonna get a soupy taste. And I always put in the salt and pepper to taste. Put as little or as much as you want. Me personally, I like to keep back from the salt because there's salt in everything as a preservative. So I just try to cut back on my salt intake. And I can just put in, I'm probably putting in like about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Then, I always like to put in a little sugar, but since I'm diabetic, I can't do that anymore. Well, I could. I just got to put in more insulin in myself. But I just get my sugar substitute, this is like equal, and just put a little bit, sprinkle a couple packets in. It sweetens up your salad without getting too heavily sweet. You know, you can use sugar if you want, just put in like a couple teaspoons of sugar, not a whole tablespoon, not a whole lot. It just cuts back on the acidityness of the salad. So it isn't so acidy tasty, so twangy. And it gives it a wonderful flavor. It just cuts back on that, and it makes it good. You don't want to overdo it because you don't want a sweet, sweet one. Then, let's see, what else? That's it. And we'll just mix this up all together. You get that little aftertaste. That's good. I like that. So that's our shrimp salad. Then you can just put this in to chill. So what we're gonna do though, we're gonna take our shrimp salad and put them on little miniature croissants. That's gonna be really good. So are these cut? No, they're not. Oh, oh, they got the water all over. Oh, I gotta watch it. Squirt, squirt everywhere. I was gonna serrated knife. And we'll cut these in half. And so piece here with the green side up. and we're just gonna take and pat these down onto the croissant. And get a little bit more, a little shrimpy, pepper. You can take and put onion in there too if you want. I just didn't care to, but you can, definitely. If you want to put a little onion on there, or even a little green onion, that's fine too. Now we'll just take and plate this up. Oh. Get a little Americanization going on here. And we can put these back in the fridge and let these chill completely because of the seafood and the mayonnaise. You could even wrap these up in cellophane too, or put them in a Tupperware container, it's even easier, and then put them in your fridge until they're well chilled and get ready to bring to your picnic. So we'll just put these in and get ready for the next dish. Okay, now for the potato salad. Let's see, I need another bowl. Oh, I just hate moving. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, got my potatoes in nice big chunks. They're nice and cooled and drained dry. And now I'm going to take my eggs. And remember now, let's see. Oh, okay. Boil in your eggs. Put cold eggs in the cold water. Bring it to a boil. Time it for 10 minutes. Get perfect eggs every single time. No green. This is a patented idea I learned from Miss Julia Child herself. I was watching her on PBS God years ago when I was a kid growing up, and she taught me how to do that, how to make those hard-boiled eggs. Oh. And just cold, because you take them cold eggs out of the refrigerator, put them in the cold water rather than warm or hot or even boiling water. That's going to crack them. That's how they get messed. One even broke open even doing this. But, so you put the cold eggs in cold water, bring it to a boil, time it for exactly 10 minutes, then drain off your hot water, keeping the eggs in the container, and do the same thing like you did with the potatoes. Refill it with cold water and just let the water run until the eggs are the temperature of the water. And you get these perfect eggs, and they peel so easily, so easily. And the same thing too, let these dry. That's why I had them in the fridge there in the egg rack so that the water could drape off completely. I even took and patted them dry too. And they're still a little moist. But you can tell, it's like I said, there's no green around the edge, no green around the gills, as they say. You get perfect eggs every time, hard-boiled eggs. This is just perfect. Do the same thing too if you're making hard deviled eggs. If you're gonna make hard-boiled eggs for deviled eggs, you know, boil your eggs this way, perfect eggs every time, and you don't get the green in there. Bright yellows are just gorgeous for hard-boiled eggs. Then I took just one stick of celery, diced it up small, and I also I had that onion, I found it. It was just a large one, so I just did a quarter of it. So I probably got like maybe, for this amount, just a little, up to here. I'm doing like about a quarter cup of diced onion minced. You want it real tiny, you don't want it real big. If you want bigger chunks of onion, that's fine, but a lot of people don't like to bite into big chunks of onion, so you want to dice it up a little smaller. Now, the same way too, with mayonnaise. Oh, like from McGee and Molly here. You put it in the closet, I think it's pouring out. Let's see, I got another spoon. Mayonnaise, little at a time. With that amount, that's about right there. And salt and pepper to taste. Watch how much salt I put in. That's probably about a teaspoon there. And pepper. I like pepper. Okay. And I like to use like a little more of a coarser grind of pepper. The fine, it pours out too quickly and fast, and sometimes you overdo it. And gotta have the secret ingredient. Put in just a little bit of mustard, but it has to be French's. That's what makes the flavor. You can put in, a lot of people like to put in sour cream and Dijon and this and that. I got about a nice tablespoon there. No, not that quite. It's more like about 2 teaspoons. But they can put in Dijon, they put sour cream and this and that. You know, to each their own, whatever you want. But for this recipe, it has to be French's. That's all there is to it. Going back home in Wisconsin, that's all we had for our mustard back when I was a kid. They didn't have all the Dijons and fancy mustards, flavors and all that stuff. They had some brown and spicy, but couldn't afford the odd stuff. You know, everybody was on a budget, you know, when you're a kid, back in the 60s, you know. So everything was, you know, whatever you could get a hold of. The cheapest, but it was French's mustard, and everybody had that. You go to the church basement parties and banquets and brunches and potlucks and stuff. Whoever had French's mustard and the potato salad, that's the first potato salad to go. Everybody loved it. No, I got to taste this. Ooh, I don't want to turn that on. Just got to be careful. It's soaking wet. Oh, my secret ingredient. That's what I'm missing. I knew I was missing something. But that was the mom's secret ingredient, was just a little bit of sugar. Now I can taste it. No, it's not dripping, it's moist, but it's not dry where it's going to be fluffy. That is the best potato salad. It's perfect. Like I said, now this doesn't have vinegar in it, so if you make this potato salad, you could put vinegar in it, and then you're okay to be out in the warming up and stuff. That's fine. I just don't like it in there. This is my recipe. So just keep it chilled, well chilled. And when you go on your picnics, you know, put your potato salad in a little Rubbermaid container into a larger bowl that has ice around it, or even those thermal, I got one somewhere. There, you know, your little thermal bags that you go, put your potato salad in there in your containers, whatever, and there's ice and stuff, or cold packs, whatever, that go in there, ice packs and stuff. You just want to make sure it's kept chilled. It's the best. It is the best. So, I think that's it, and we'll continue on later with something else. So I have to go and cut here and continue later. See you in a bit. Okay, now we have the fun salads. Now we're going to take and do the bratwurst I promised. Now for this, all you need is very simple to do. Get your grill going outside. Remember, wait till the coals are gray, because you don't want to overcook and burn them, and you don't want to take and undercook them either. And what we're going to do is take our bratwurst. Mine happen to be frozen, so I can always throw these in the microwave and defrost them if I have to. But they're going to thaw out in the beer anyway. But what you get the idea here is to take your fork and just poke holes in your bratwurst. And then we're going to take and put this in our pot. You just want to break the skin. I usually do it like 3 times on each side for each one. And we're just going to put that in our pot. And I'm going to turn that on high. And we're going to cover it in beer. This ain't Liney's. Liney's works best, Leinenkugels. Went to Cub Foods and they didn't have Leinenkugels. They did have the flavored Liney's. The shandy, you know, the lemon one and the other kinds of whatever. I said, don't you have any plain Leinenkugels? No, we don't, sir. I said, it's right next door, Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. You don't have any Leinenkugels plain? No, sir, we don't. I said, I think Cub gets profit off of the beer sales they make, you know, so you only have certain kinds. But anyway, I just couldn't believe it. I said, I'm from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. I have to have Leinenkugels beer for my brats. It's the only beer that I use for my beer batter, too. It's the best beer. It's made with the purest water in the world. You gotta have Leinenkugels. Oh, too funny. But anyway, that's the way it is. So I just got a Sammy Adams dark lager. I just wanted a dark beer is what I wanted. Actually, I love that Liney's Bach beer. That's really good. But anyway, we're gonna let this come to a boil. And then when it boils, we're gonna let it boil for 10 minutes, turn it off, and then we'll just let it simmer for about 20. Then we'll take them out, dispose of the beer, and put the brats on the grill. And then we'll be right back. Then to add to our little barbecue for the summer, I got sweet corn. This is from St. Louis, Missouri, so I hope it's good. I paid enough for it. It's not in season here yet. I know when we get our sweet corn here in Minnesota, they sell it for 50 cents an ear, which is your standard about now. But back when I was a kid, that wasn't that long ago. God, I can remember corn we used to get a dozen for $3, I think it was. Now, here in Minnesota, they're doing a dozen for, it used to be 6. And sometimes it's 8 or 9, depending on where you go. Oh, it's outrageous. I'm like, good Lord, for corn. You can get 1 million cobs off of 1 year, but all the seed grow it yourself. Good Lord, that was just expensive. But that's the way it is around here. It's like, the first corn of the season is very expensive, but as the season progresses, because it's getting older, all of a sudden they drop the price really low. Because, I mean, not just corn to eat, but I love to can it, you know, because I love to can corn. Blue Ribbon, Minnesota State Fair, and Hennepin County Fair, and Anoka County Fair. So I know how to can corn. But I love to can it because I love this fresh, sweet, bicolored corn in the wintertime. Oh, it's delicious. So, for our corn on the cob, of course, you know, bring it to a boil. But what I like to do is put a little splash of milk in. And you take and put a little bit of sugar. It doesn't need a lot. Because that corn is really sweet too. But the sugar and the milk help to sweeten up and make the corn really creamier, much tender and nicer. It just gives your corn a wonderful flavor because the milk and the sugar are chemically reacting to it and makes it nice and tender and juicy, and it's really good, really good. Little old granny taught me that one at one of the old folks' homes. Make sure you add milk and sugar to it. I said, all right. And it does make a nice difference. You don't have to, but it does make a good difference. So we're looking at this boil and get our brats. They're still soaking, waiting for the grill. And then we'll be back with our dinner. And we got the wonderful salads we already made. So all we have to do is just brats and corn. You have a nice summer afternoon barbecue. So that's it for our brats and corn on the cob. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Nice and creamy, corny on the cobby. And our lovely brats. Look how beautifully brown these are. Oh, these are just beauteous. See? Beauty, beauty, beauteous. Nice in color. And that little coffee can grill I got from Wells Fargo. So we hope you have a wonderful summer and you get to follow a few of our tips for grilling, making things a little bit easier, we hope. Making your salad something easier, not so time consuming, so that you can enjoy the summer too. So from myself and no Miss Callie Allies. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, no Callie Allies. I like to wish you to be healthy, be safe, and spread the sunshine. Bye-bye.